would normally say I'll see you in 18 months, God willing, but we'll see you a little sooner than that.
Until we meet again, which, like you, I hope will not be anytime soon.
God bless Texas and the great state of the United States of America.
The House stands adjourned. Sine die.
Sine die, or some other Latin term like it, the 85th Texas legislature comes to an end when 140 days of good, bad, and sometimes ugly bills and bickering. We even had a shoving match. How did we get here, and how fractured is this body of leadership? We take a look. Well, fractured is the perfect term to describe the State House. It really is. If you haven't been paying attention to the 85th Texas legislature, I can't blame you. It's been brutal. You basically have your hardcore Tea Partiers on one far-right side, your moderate Republicans kind of in the middle, and the minority Democrats to the left. Yeah, basically three separate bodies all fighting, sometimes literally, as you're about to see, for the entire pie. Not just a piece, but the whole freaking dessert. Yeah, I'll stay away from individual bills and amendments for argument's sake and stick with this past week's developments. First up, the sad, immature, I'll make you stay after school antics between House Speaker Joe Straus and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
I hope the members of the House are going to tolerate one man standing alone behind a microphone telling his members what they're going to do.
For many of us, and especially for me, this was a compromise.
I must see action by the House to pass several key bills.
My experience in the House is that the House doesn't take to threats terribly well.
And so thanks to Joe Straus, we're going to have a special session that he created.
Confused? Don't be. That was basically the Lieutenant Governor trying to put pressure on Straus to come to a compromise on his pet project, i.e. pass exactly what he wants the bathroom bill to be, or get called back during your summer vacation for a special session, i.e. summer school. By the way, a 30-day special session would cost the state roughly $34,000 a day, or just over $1 million total. Pretty big cash for a state still struggling with its budget, and pretty juvenile name-calling from two of the state's top representatives. It got bigger than name-calling on Monday. When protesters of the Sanctuary Cities bill came to the Capitol, this one actually caught national headlines.
I don't remember what was said on either side.
You did what? And he said, yeah, I called ICE. And then he said, F them.
I just know they were saying stuff to me. I was saying stuff to them.
There was a threat made from Representative Rinaldi to put a bullet in one of my colleagues' head.
No, I didn't say that.
You did not say that?
No.
Did you say anything like that?
Pancho did threaten me.
Pushing and shoving and anything beyond that isn't acceptable and it shouldn't happen out there. And I'm sorry it happened. The fact is he's asking for it.
That seemed like more of an out-of-control weigh-in for a UFC fight instead of a reasonable debate by the very lawmakers we voted into office to speak for us. One side, Representative Matt Rinaldi, does something pretty discriminatory, you know, the exact racial profiling that protesters of SB 4 were protesting against. That is followed up by the other group looking for fisticuffs and a playground fight. It's embarrassing, right? And it's a black eye for the entire state. From Abbott to Patrick to Straus, through reps from the tiniest of districts, it might just be time to take a real hard look to see if they're the right people for a tough job. It's tough. If they can't work together and make Texas better, get folks in there. That will.
Very warm and humid, and that's not going to change for a while. That's typical, though, in East Texas this time of the year. Let's look outside, 83 degrees, and we've got a pretty light east wind. It's not stirring much of that warm air around the area. As we check out the radar satellite over the last 6 hours, see a cluster of thunderstorms coming out of the hill country and across the San Antonio vicinity. That was severe activity just a short time ago, but about 15 minutes ago, the severe thunderstorm warning there east of San Antonio did expire. Now, in East Texas, we've had that high thin cloudiness throughout much of the day, but not much at all in the way of shower activity. We have had the warm temperatures, but these are about normal for this time of the year, into the mid-80s, as Tyler, Longview, and Lufkin all hit 86 degrees for highs this afternoon. Chances of thunderstorms will increase on Thursday, and they'll continue through the weekend. Brian?
Thank you, John. The growing popularity of online sales has fewer people going to the mall. Department stores have lost more jobs than coal mines in the past 15 years after hundreds of malls have shut down. Producer John Burnley shows us how developers are transforming these empty spaces.
Like a scene out of the Old West, once full of promise and prosperity for the communities that thrived around them, now only a memory of what once was. A modern-day ghost town serving as a reminder that today's society isn't immune to the pitfalls of retail ruin. But perhaps new ideas can breathe new life to old bones. Photographer Seth Lawless got a look at what happens to malls after they fail. Left abandoned and neglected, the giant buildings slowly fall apart.
Everybody saw it as a dead mall.
This used to be the site of the old Granite Run Mall outside Philadelphia. Developer Michael Markman is giving the area a 21st century makeover. What's different about this?
You know, what's different about this is, so there's a lot of malls being redeveloped around the country because malls are dying everywhere. What we did was really aggressive. We took down the whole interior portion of the mall.
First building B.
Markman is going to replace the old mall with a complex of buildings for shopping, entertainment, apartments, and a healthcare facility.
We have about twice as much retail square footage per capita than any other country in the world.
Architecture professor Ellen Dunham Jones says reimagining old malls is becoming a necessity. It's estimated there are about 1,000 malls across the country. Around 1/3 are at risk of failing. In Rhode Island, the historic Westminster Arcade found new life after adding apartments to the second floor. An old strip mall in Tennessee was converted into a church, and the 100 Oaks Mall in Nashville survived after Vanderbilt constructed a health facility next to the stores.
We see a lot of malls that are turned into medical clinics, turned into community colleges, or all range of educational facilities.
This is the future.
Markman says the first phase of the new property is set to open in May 2018. For The Edge, I'm producer John Burnley.
Thank you, Burnley. Coming up, a story that kind of reminds me of my old college days. Well, kind of. Instead of rehoming that old recliner you found by the dumpster, though, some people are fishing out things that are a little more personal.
I think it's kind of gross. I think it's disgusting.
I don't think I would go that route.
Who would? Is the price of beauty so high that some women have actually resorted to digging up their makeup out of the trash? Oh yeah, it's a thing, and it's kind of gross. It's next.
Said you don't know because you've never been there. She turned upon him, took him by the hair, spun him round about, pushed him out, laughing as he fell about, sat down for a drink in her father's favorite chair. Kill your television. vision.
It's a fairly recent trend, and it's taking off on things like YouTube and Facebook, where some vloggers are giving tutorials on this. For lack of a better term, disgusting practice. Yeah, it's mostly involving dumpster diving for damaged, used, or expired beauty products. Bradley Blackburn with our Dallas station explains.
Are thousands of dollars in beauty products just there for the taking? That's the claim in online videos that show dumpster finds behind stores like Ulta. And it's the reason those Arlington teens dove right in. To verify, we spoke to Arlington Police Lieutenant Chris Cook and Ulta spokesperson Karen May.
Behind this Ulta Beauty in Arlington Highlands late Saturday night, a cop found 2 teen girls deep in the dumpster looking for beauty.
Hey guys.
They've been watching videos like this,
I don't know how much that's worth, but
where young women claim to find thousands of dollars in makeup tossed away in store trash.
Everything on this towel I found in one night. This is all Lancome stuff.
We couldn't help but peek inside and found only empty bottles and waste. Customers we met today say there's no way it would wind up on their faces.
I think it's kind of gross. I think it's disgusting.
I don't think I would go that route.
Arlington police say the teens found only garbage, but they could have been ticketed for criminal trespass. Instead, they were given a warning. In a statement, Ulta Beauty spokesperson Karen May said, "We strongly discourage the unsafe and sometimes illegal practice of dumpster diving. Ulta Beauty, like other retailers, disposes of products for a reason. All products that are damaged, used, expired, or otherwise unsaleable or unsuitable for donation are disposed of. These products should never be retrieved or used."
I'm good. I can just buy it myself.
So yes, Ulta does discard makeup, but if you grab it, you could get a tainted product or a trespassing ticket.
And that's why we do Verify reports. If you have something you would like us to verify, head to our Facebook page, KYTX-CBS19, write and get our attention using the hashtag CBS19Verify, or just send us an email to news@cbs19.tv. Well, 2 small towns on either side of the border, both with the same challenge, drugs and cartels. Now change is in the works.
If the United States got a cold, Mexico got pneumonia. That's how close we are.
See how a group of leaders on both sides of the border are coming together to turn fear into strength.
This old man I've talked about broke his own heart, poured it in the ground. Big red tree grew up and out, throws up its leaves, spins round and round. I know all this and more. So take your hat off when you're talking to me and be there when I feed the tree. This little squirrel I used to be slammed her bike down the stairs. They put silver where her teeth had been, baby silver tooth. She grins and grins. I know all this and more. So take your hat off, boy, when you're talking to me, and be there when I feed the tree. Take your hat off, boy, when you're talking to me.
Well, for a decade, communities along the Texas-Mexico border have suffered the impact of the drug war and cartel violence. It's caused fear and economic instability. But now a group of leaders on both sides of the border are coming together to change that. Border correspondent Oscar Margain shows us how.
The 89-year-old international bridge connecting the border cities of Roma, Texas and Miguel Alemán, Mexico is symbolic. It's a link that keeps these two communities alive.
If the United States got a cold, Mexico got pneumonia. That's how close we are. We got Levi's on this side.
But the strength of that city connection has been deteriorating, according to Roma native Noel Benavides, in more ways than one.
It's probably down about between 12–15%. And that's a lot. That hurts.
Noel remembers growing up in a town so dependent on their Mexican neighbors. His clothing shop, a longtime family business, has had its ups and downs. But if you ask him what has been the single biggest factor in what slowed down his business, he'll say the 10-year-long drug war.
I never expected this to happen, and I'm sure most people didn't.
New administrations within the Mexican government are making renewed promises to revive the border economy by repairing an old highway known as Ruta 54. It connects the industrial city of Monterrey to the border. Leaders have also formed an interstate police to protect cargo and tourists. The goal is to ensure the safety of those who used to travel here and get more money back into the economy. On the other hand, municipal leaders in Texas are trying to calm the nerves brought on by President Trump's tough talk and plans for the border wall. Leaders here are hosting binational meetings like this one in an effort to bring together government and business.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It's been like that for years, generations. Our people are people that have survived many unfortunate things, but we're used to the changes, and we're looking for a change for the better.
The next Route 54 meeting is set to take place across the border in Miguel Alemán, Mexico. Now, the local Mexican government is betting on their security to host their American counterparts and prove that they too are serious about border security for the sake of improving economic relations. In Roma, on the Texas-Mexico border, I'm Oscar Margain reporting.
Well, this makes sense. The world of music and medicine colliding to make a very interesting and soothing combination.
I think a lot of doctors and a lot of healthcare professionals are attracted to music because the core of music is mathematical.
That's way over my head. Meet the jazz medic and hear their toe-tapping story. It's coming up in 2.
Like the breeze float straight out of our lids. Them, they got booed by these hard rock Brooklyn kids. Us floor rush when they DJ booming classics. You dig the crew on the fattest hip hop record. He tucks the kinks and sinks into the sounds. She frequents deep, fatter joints called undergrounds. Our funk zooms like you hit the Mary Jane. They flock to booms, man, boogie had to change. Who freaks the clips with mad amount percussion? Where kinky hair goes to unthought of dimensions. Why is it so fly? Cause hip hop kept some drama. When Butterfly rocked the light blue suede boomers. What by the cut? We push it off the corner. How was the buzz entire hip hop era? Was fresh and back since they started saying Audi. Cause funk's made fat from right beneath my hood. The pooba of the styles like Miles and shit. Like 60s funky worms with waves and perms. Just sending junky rhythms right down your block. We beat to rap, what key beat to lock. But I'm cool like that. 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 I'm cool. I'm cool.
Be the chocolates taps on my raps. She innovates after sweeter cat naps. He at the funk club with the vibrate. Them they be crazy down with the 5 link. It can kick a plan, then a crowd burst. Me, I be digging it with the bug verse. Us, we be freaking till dawn, peace and I. He gets a stranger smile, so I say hi. Who understood? Yeah, understood the plans. Him heard of it and put it to his hands. What I just flip, let borders get loose. How to consume all the beaches like juice. If it's the shit, we'll lift it off the plastic. The babes will go spastic. Hip hop game's a classic. Pimp play a shot, it don't matter. I'm fatter, axe butter how I zone.
Man, Cleopatra Jones.
And I'm chill like that. 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 I'm chill.
Well, they've been playing gigs around Houston for quite some time, but this isn't your average touring band. They're called the Jazz Medics, co-founded back in the 60s by the famous heart surgeon Denton Cooley. Josh Chapin went to go check them out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is rehearsal. Something the Jazz Medics do every Wednesday night. At 7 Acres Jewish Care Center in Meyerland. Tonight they're whipping through standards, All the Way by Sammy Kahn, A String of Pearls by Glenn Miller, and Don't Get Around Anymore by Duke Ellington.
We have lost members, we're regaining members, we're up and we're down.
Their members for the most part have been in medicine, going back to its founder, Denton Cooley. Originally they called themselves the Heartstrings because most of the doctors were cardiologists and played string instruments. They pivoted to the Heartbeats, recording an album under that name, before moving to the Jazz Medics name in 1974 to reflect a professional diversity.
I think a lot of doctors and a lot of healthcare professionals are attracted to music because the core of music is mathematical.
Sid Schwartz has been in the band since the 1980s. And I have to ask, what is the average age of the band?
Oh, I never tabulated, you know. I'm at risk, you know.
Richard Waghalter.
When did you pick up the saxophone?
Just a few minutes ago.
At least 30 years. He's a periodontist.
I can still do dentistry. You know, they say, should you retire? I said, you got to work first. I enjoy what I'm doing, so I don't consider it work.
The era of the 30s, 40s, 50s, it's really dying off. I mean, we play nursing homes where people don't even recognize those songs.
A band now trying to keep an era alive, one heartbeat at a time.
Where does the Jazz Medics come from?
Jazz Medics means we doctor the music.
We doctor the music. If you'd like to check out the Jazz Medics, we have a recommendation. Just head over to Jazz Medics Big Band Facebook page. There they are. You'll find a list of shows in the North Texas area, or if you want them to come to you. They play dances, retirement parties, bar mitzvahs, and of course weddings. And feel free to give us a recommendation that you think we should share with East Texas. Come on, we're waiting. You can always get our attention with the hashtag EdgeNation. Well, remember the Fearless Girl statue controversy? The one that's staring down the giant bull on Wall Street? Well, now another artist, yep, stirring the pot again. That story after the break. Hey everybody, I don't want to throw off your Gwen Stefani listening, but I want to say hello on this Tuesday evening. Thanks for tuning in. I want to say hello to Mary Ann and Tina. Thanks for, one gave me a love. Let's see which one gave me the heart. I like this Facebook. Oh, Tina gave me a heart. And Mary Ann gave me a like, so that's great. Albert is with us, and I did notice getting a little back and forth with Blaine Walker. Blaine, I know we don't share the same views on a lot of things, but thanks for commenting and thanks for, getting a spirited debate with me. So I always appreciate spirited debates. And that's one thing I think you're going to see with The Edge is that I don't want to be one side or the other. I want to be a little bit more in the middle and listen to what both sides have to say and then kind of make my judgment from there. And I think that what I was trying to get across with that story I did, that say what in the State House, everybody has got to relax there, right? Take a chill pill? How old am I? Who says that anymore? But I mean, I just think nothing's getting accomplished there because everybody's out for their own agenda, and it might not be the agenda of other constituents. And when they don't work together, this is what you have. Talk of a special session, and it's very childish and juvenile, if you ask me. So now we're going to have a special session, more than likely, which nothing will get accomplished, and it'll just be 30 days of bickering, and it's going to cost the state $1,031,000. And most of that money is to put congressmen and senators up That's their room and board, $190 a day. Check it out. There's actually go online and put cost of special session in Texas, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Over $1 million for 30 days of bickering that's going to get us nowhere. Well, trending now, another artist briefly joins New York City's Fearless Girl controversy. A sculpted dog is placed to look like it's urinating on her leg. Come on! The artist sides with the sculptor of Wall Street's Bryan Boes, who says Fearless Girl is an affront to his work. The dog statue has already been removed. This is getting crazy. Send us your cool videos so we can show it on the air. Just head to our Twitter page @TheEdgeCBS19. All right, that's going to do it for us. It's a wrap. For me, producer Libby, for producer Burnley, for Scotty and Davis and everybody in the entire Edge Nation crew, thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Hump Day. That means Wednesday. Same time, same Edge place.